Hi there, I wanted to show you this rather interesting beast that has just come through the post to me. It's called a Trochilus. Trochilus. I don't know how you want to pronounce it. Trochilus, I think I'll go with. Made by JDR in China. And first one I've had, and I must admit, I'm quite impressed with this. Now, first thing I have to say is it's basically a 10-hole diatonic harmonica, and it's pretty much the same size as a marine band, which is that's the main thing I was surprised about. If you look at the end of it there and there, it's a little bit bigger, but not much. And the profile is a little bit bigger, but not much. So you might notice this pesky button on the side. So it's basically a C diatonic, 10-hole C diatonic, same as this one is. And it does exactly the same as the standard 10-hole diatonic in the key of C. However, when you press the button, suddenly you've got a C sharp or a D flat diatonic, which does exactly what a standard D flat diatonic does. So, press the button, does exactly the same. So it's effectively two harmonicas in one, two blues harps in one, if you will. Now I'm thinking that's going to be useful for me when I'm travelling. That means I can take this rather than two harmonicas. Now that might not seem like a lot to you, but when you're travelling light, you don't want to have too many harmonicas with you. It's got the same chords, although this is tuned to equal temperament, and this one is a compromise tuning, more leaning towards just intonation. So the chords will be better on this one, the melodies will be better on this one. I think the holes are a little bit bigger than the standard diatonic, which will help some people. Doesn't bother me, but it'll help some people. It's very smooth. They're very beautifully rounded off. Look at that mouthpiece. It's really, really nicely made. Now, the predecessor to this is, as far as I'm concerned, a Koch slide harp, it was called, made by Koch, but I believe that was a company that Hohner bought out when they were buying out all the competition, I think. That's the story I've heard. I might be wrong there. And it was called a slide harp, and it was really big and really fat and really leaky and horrible. It was a terrible harmonica, in my humble opinion. But it did the same job. You press the button and everything goes up a semitone. And I like the idea of it because I sort of like the chromatic a little bit, but not really all that much. Otherwise I would be a chromatic player. I like the chords. And I like the tuning of the Richter tuning. But what this does is it allows me to be more fluid with some of the tricky notes, like the overblows and overdraws, which you can do on here. So it actually overblows right out of the box. You can even bend the overblow up. Press the button in. Even that one does. Hole 5. Yeah, a little bit. Hole 4. A little bit. Could do with a tweak on that. I can tweak that. Hole 1, a little bit. Not very good. But if I use the slide instead, so I could press the slide in and bend down on that one. So you might want to play a blues scale. So you could go for that B flat and bend it downwards with the slide in. Or you could go for the B flat with an overblow and bend upwards. So it adds a little bit of nuance to the standard harmonica. If you're not an overblower, this might be perfect for you. There's an awful lot you can do with this. So this is just going to be a sort of a, initial taster video. I'll do more when I've experimented more with it. I don't want it to sound too Larry Adler. That's not my style. It'll do that, of course. So that could be handy. It's not going to sit well in the sort of traditional blues guys. So that top note, that B flat, is going to be very useful. What about the overdraws? Will it do that? Probably not. It's pretty painful. So again, you'll be able to use the slide to add things to that. So I'm doing 2 draw with the slide out, bent, and then slightly bent. Let me try that on 3. So that's like a double draw, slide out, a triple draw, slide in. Let me try a single draw on 3 draw. This is single draw, slide out, double draw, slide in. So I think there's going to be a lot of decorational stuff you can use. That I really like. I can feel the response. So I'm guessing if you played some Irish music, then you're going to have lots of nice decorational stuff on this. I'm sure Brendan Powers invented one of these, and probably better, but this, I think, is excellent. So I'm going to experiment more with this and come back to you with some further studies and investigations. I might even order another one. Yeah, feels good in 3rd position as well. And I've seen Winslow and Mike Rubin looking at these. They quite like it, and they're rather thinking it's a game changer, and I'm rather thinking it is a game changer. Especially for people who really want to get all the notes, but aren't going to learn to overblow or overdraw. This might be just a ticket. So it's JD, what's it called? JDR, I think it is. JDR. So the logo's on the back, I can't really read it. JDR harmonicas. I got it from AliExpress. You can get it from Amazon.com as well. They come in, I think, 6 Richter tunings, and also in pop tuning. I don't know what that is. And also in Paddy Richter tuning, which is with the whole 3 raised up a tone to eliminate some bending or enable you to be able to play at speed with without having to slow down for the bends. Yeah, I don't want to be Larry Adler. They already had one Larry Adler, and amazing he was, wasn't he? But that's not me. Although I did do one gig with him. I did meet him. And I got him to review my very first book back in 1999, I think. And he said, it stinks, it stinks. So there you go. Thanks, Larry.